remind me later. This junction we're coming up to now. I'm going to tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story later about it. I'm just mentioning it so I'll even remember myself, because obviously I'll forget by this afternoon. So this is good. Let me just get the junction number right for later. Right, so it's junction 11 on the 62. Right, I'm going to tell you a story about it later. ask you a question. Can you name the 2 Premier League clubs that sound like gay bars? I'll give you a second to think about it. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. So we're after 2 Premier League football clubs that sound like they could be a gay bar. Man City and Man United. And I think that's quite relevant, judging by where we're actually stopped next to this lay-by just off the M62. I don't know whether it still is, but it used to be known for that kind of stuff. Have I got it right here? They've got temporary lights in and a lane block just because there's a big puddle. Right, so do you know where I am? Oh, first of all, Happy New Year, right? It's now that, not quite the second week of January. This is the week that everybody's gone back to work. So the last video I finished just prior to Christmas Eve on the Friday, had the following week off. Like most people, had Christmas week off. A lot of people had the following week off that had New Year's Day, New Year's Eve in it. I was off that week, but went in on the Thursday to do my Thursday run, and like the previous video, got nothing back because it was that week really quiet, and I only did it because I'm not going to let that customer down. But from base down there, the run and back, still got more than enough, so it wasn't too bad. And I thought there was an abnormal load coming then. So this is Tuesday. Where are we now? Tuesday the 7th. So as usual, yesterday was Monday, got nothing, but I was at another funeral. So kind of all through December and into January, I've averaged 4 days a week. But in that time, I've been to 3 funerals, so you know that sometimes that's obviously can't be helped, and I'm not gonna not go to a funeral. So this morning we start. Well, some of you will be aware of where we started. So I came in this morning. I didn't come in too early because I had no load booked. I can check the loads obviously at home on the app and online, so I don't necessarily have to be in the yard in the truck. So spent last night, quoted a couple of jobs from home for today, Tuesday. One popped up from Blackburn down to Bristol, and when it popped up I recognised it. I recognised the people who'd posted it, where it was, even though it's not specific, kind of recognised where it was going from in Blackburn down to the other side of Bristol, and I've done it before, so I quoted exactly what I'd got it for last time. Anyway, didn't get it, so it's that time of year now where people are probably quoting below normal just to get the work because it's really quiet. So, and the other thing is, if you don't get a load the previous night, the chances of getting a load in a morning, I know I've mentioned it before, are pretty narrow up. The chances of getting a load in a morning are slim up until kind of 8-9 o'clock. You will get stuff earlier than that, but 8-9 o'clock tends to be the time where companies realise, oh no, that's not gone out, oh we need to get this delivery done, oh this has gone wrong. And the people who are posting the loads, yeah, they always have, a lot of them will have people on call, but a lot of the office staff start at 8-9 o'clock, so that's when loads start popping up. So it wasn't, a big deal that I didn't go into work till probably 8-9 o'clock this morning. So went in, had a look, there was nothing. Again, quoted a couple of local jobs for, not a lot of money, and didn't get them. But because I've got my ADR, I've more of a chance of getting a job. So this job popped up from Pemberton, Wigan. So it's just the side of the motorway, so you're not even driving down and faffing about round near Wigan's football ground. Driving down there, it's off at that M58 Skem exit, and then just a mile down the road onto the industrial estate like you saw, and then back out. And now we're in Ravensthorpe, which is like Dews. I think it's classed as, is it classed as Dewsbury? Let me just look, because I've just remembered something. I've not been where I used to work. We used to do quite a few drops down here, small businesses on the, like this corridor from Huddersfield. Kind of. I want to get the. Hang on. I just want to get the names right, so I don't. So if you imagine the road, you got Huddersfield, and then from through Murfield, Ravensthorpe. If you imagine that main road into Dewsbury, through, you know, through Batley and all that, we used to do quite a lot on that main busy main road. But I've not been down here for a while. But it's just reminded me of the last time I was in this area, and I wasn't working, I was watching my lad play football, and we had the family with us in the car, and the only reason I remember it is we did a drive-by of oh, I forgot her name. Oh, we did a drive-by of Shannon Matthews' house. I can't believe we did it, really. I pulled up outside this house with all the family in car and said, look out the window, guess where we are? We parked outside this house on this estate. I said, I don't know. It's where Shannon Matthews got kidnapped from. Anyway, that's the last time I was round here. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to have a quick look online, see if anything's popping up, Bradford, Dewsbury, Leeds, that area. Give us 5 or 10 minutes and I'll come back to you with the story of Junction 11 that we came past en route. Alright, so just give us 5 minutes. Right, so there's nothing of any use at the moment online, so I'll quickly just tell you that story. So before I got the truck and I were freelance, I might have mentioned this on another video, but I can't remember, so for anybody that might not have heard it, I'll tell you again. So it's not a joke or anything, it's just something I observed on my way to work. So before I had this and I was freelancing, I was at a place doing quite a lot of work for a place. They don't exist anymore. If anybody knows the area around Risley Remand Centre, Risley Prison, whatever it's called these days, right? So just if anybody knows the area, there's a little industrial estate after the prison, and I'm just looking now, it's called Taylor Business Park, right, on New Hall Lane. So what I'm just quickly going to do is just work out a distance. So just bear with me a second. Directions. Not from here. Oh, I need to look up, choose on map. Right, so what I was doing, it's a place I was freelancing at. I was in there for quite a bit, so I was going in like I was out all week driving a 26 tonner, and I go up the slip road. Off that junction, basically you can only go one way. There's no left, no right. So if you came off where I was showing you earlier, you end up going down the same dual carriageway. So there we go. Is it that one? Just bear with me. Yeah, it's got to be on it. Right, so I'll do it from. Choose location, okay. Right, so you come off the M62 at junction 11, right? So I've got up the slip road. Bear in mind, it's early in the morning, there's nothing about, but I think it was summer, so it may be daylight, I can't quite remember. Anyway, I see these two black marks on the top of the slip road. There's two big marks, right? Obviously rubber off a truck, like a skid mark. Anyway, from that junction you can go down a dual carriageway, and I can't remember whether it used to go down to a roundabout, but now it's a big set of traffic lights. So starts following it, and I'm going down this dual carriageway, and I'm following these black lines down this road, and I'm thinking there's going to be a truck and a trailer parked up at the side of the road in a minute. So I'm going down, so I go all the way down I'm just making sure I've got my thing right here. So I go all down from junction 11, I go all the way down Birchwood Way, which is that new bit of dual, well, it's an old road, but they resurfaced it, and I think they put a bit of dual carriageway in not too long ago. So you go all the way down there to that big set of traffic lights, turn right at the set of traffic lights as though you're going into the industrial estate where the Mercedes dealer is, and A&M commercials and all them. Some of you will have been there. So into that estate, not up to A&M commercials or anything like that. Stay on that main road. So you go over the roundabout, and I'm still following these two black lines. Still following up to the next roundabout. Round that roundabout. Then there's another roundabout with a little spar shop on the corner. Little convenience store. So turn right there, and then you're going up towards Risley Remand Centre, Risley Prison. So followed these black lines up there, and I'm thinking, where the bloody hell's this truck? And I keep you know, these two light tram lines disappear into distance. So I'm following them. I'm going all the way up, past the prison, carried on up, over the motorway, past the prison. And then not long after the prison, there's this industrial estate. I forgot what it's, Taylor Business Park, right? And that's where I was going. So I turned right into the estate, and there's a security hut and a bit of a lay-by on the left, and there's a truck parked in that lay-by, and he had two standard trailer, so like 3 axles all on super singles, 2 flat tyres on one side, 1 flat tyre on the other side, and there were no tractor unit hitched up to it. So I think what he's done, his brakes have locked up as he's come off the motorway, carried on going, rubbed all the rubber off, and ended up with 3 flat tyres. I'll not name and shame the company, but they were from Mansfield. Oh, and the name of the business park's really similar to the name of them. And they used to swap, the yard I was based in, they used to do trailer swaps in that's convenient that the name of the company's the same as Taylor Business Park. Anyway, if you go around Huthwaite, around there, is it Mansfield, or is it classed as Sutton, whatever it is, Huthwaite, go in there, you'll see them flying round there, the red trucks. But I just thought, how can you drive? And I've just Google mapped it, and it's the right, it's the correct way, and it's, hang on, I've just got to add the mileage up, hang on. .5 mile, so we've gone 2.5 mile with his trailer locked up, dragging everything, and ended up with 3 flat tyres. There's drivers and there's drivers, eh? Right, I'll leave you with that while I just make a brew with the Million Mile Kettle. Right, the other story. And I'm only telling you because I can't quite remember where it was. I was either delivering to either Wakefield or Dewsbury Market, I can't remember. So years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, 20 odd years ago, I might have put a picture of these on before, but I know I've got a picture of the truck, so I'll show you the truck now. Right, so many moons ago I worked for them. They were a Scottish firm, but they had a depot at Haydock. So I worked at Haydock, and one of the contracts was, I don't know whether it's still there or not, Renshaw Scott. And Renshaw Scott supplied, I can only describe it from a bloke's point of view as shite. They supplied marzipan and, you know, sprinkles for cakes and things like that. So whenever you delivered to an RDC, it was just like, you might have 26 pallets on, excuse me, but you'd have 2 pallets for Tesco, 3 pallets for Asda, 4 pallets for Morrison's, and it was just a pain in the arse because of the amount of stuff that they used to sell. You were either doing multi-drop with all the stuff, you know, because it were little jars of stuff like this that you'd put on cakes, you know, them little cherries or, excuse me, or boxes of marzipan. But the boxes of marzipan, if you've never handled marzipan, are really heavy. They're like bricks, and some of them would come in boxes as big as a shoebox. Some were like 4 times the size as a shoebox. They were massive, and they were really, really heavy. And then we didn't have, well, I don't think in the fleet of trucks, especially trailers, they had tail lifts or anything like that. Never got supplied with pump trucks or sack barrows or anything like that. So it wasn't so bad when you delivered to the RDCs, because obviously you get to it with a forklift. But a lot of the deliveries were just crap. They were like Fanny Craddock's cake shop on the high street. So you had to get there early enough to be able to park up, and then you used to have to handball them off one by one and take them in. And because these shops were full of like old ladies, you just had to do it all yourself, and you weren't supposed to, but you ended up taking it in the shop for them and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to give you that little bit of background because it's relevant to the story. So I don't know, it was, like I say, it was either Dewsbury, Wakefield, indoor market. So I pulls up, parks outside, goes in, I goes looking for this shop. Anyway, finds it right at the. I don't even think there was a proper loading or unloading area. You had to park on the street outside and go through the main doors. So anyway, I managed to get parked up, goes in, finds this shop, finds this old woman. Right, and I think I had a full pallet. You know, it must have weighed 1,500 kilos, you know, it was stacked, it was basically silly, right? So I goes in, I finds her, I looked at her, she must have been like 3'7", you know, and 2 stone wet through, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get this in here? Because I can't even, it's not even, can I borrow your pump truck and tail lift and pallet, you know, even get 2 pallets and split it on 2 pallets and take it in. I'm thinking it's all going to be handball this, I'm going to be here hours. Anyway, and she had no other help, there was no other staff there or anything like that. But the guy next door had a fruit and veg stall, and you know the big carts that you see sometimes in a market on the rubber wheels as well, and you can put all kinds of stuff, kind of thing you see in B&Q to put loads of, you know, your big heavy timbers on and things like that, or bits of plasterboard. So I clocks one of them. So I says to him, excuse me mate, I explained the situation, got this delivery for lady next door, I've no way of getting it in. Any chance I can borrow your trolley? He says no. So rather than walk off, he says, come on mate, just do us a favour, I'll even give you a couple of, you know, a £5 or something. He says, no, I'm sick of people borrowing it, no, well, F off type of thing. So I'm thinking, oh, bloody hell, what am I going to do? So he did me head in a bit. So as I'm walking out, there's another fruit and veg stall next to the entrance where I'm going in. And there's a younger lad on this stall, so I got chatting to him. So I'm talking to him, I'm explaining the situation, and I'm saying, oh well, maybe you can help me, because that miserable sod on that stall over there won't let me use his won't let me use his trolley. He says, oh, don't worry about it, my dad's always been a miserable get. So I've insulted his son as well, haven't I? And he didn't have one, and the one he used were the ones his dad had. So hey ho, the joys of trying to do your job, eh?